Doctrine and Covenants 58 through 59. This week in Come Follow Me, some of the saints arrive in Missouri, but what they see probably isn't what they expected. Joseph Smith and several church elders had traveled to Missouri as commanded by the Lord. The saints had been told this was the land of Zion, the center place where they were to gather. But when they got there, Missouri didn't look like the promised land. It was mostly wilderness, untouched, undeveloped, and far from the church hub Kirtland was becoming. It's no wonder the saints had questions. Is this really the place? Can Zion truly grow from this? Those questions became even more real with the arrival of the Colesville saints. This faithful branch had already sacrificed a lot. They had left their homes in New York, moved to Kirtland, Ohio, settled on land provided by Lehman Copley, but then they were kicked off when he changed his mind. With nowhere else to go, they followed the Lord's next command and made the long journey west to Missouri. When they finally arrived, you can imagine their thoughts. New York had been established. Even Kirtland had signs of growth. But this land felt raw and wild and hard. Could this truly be the place the Lord had in mind for them and for the city of Zion? In response, Joseph Smith received Doctrine and Covenants 58, and the Lord's answer was clear. Yes, this is Zion, but you're going to have to build it. Zion wasn't going to be handed to them already complete. It would take faith and work and sacrifice and obedience. But this place had been chosen by the Lord himself, and that made it holy. The saints got to work. Encouraged by revelation and united in purpose, they began settling the land. With the Colesville saints now present and church leadership on site, the foundation for Zion was finally being laid, physically and spiritually. The next day, the saints began building the very first house in Zion, in Kaw Township, about 12 miles from Independence. 12 men, symbolic of the 12 tribes of Israel, carried and placed the first log. This wasn't just construction. It was an act of faith and the Lord's promise that this was where he wanted them to be. That same day, the saints participated in a sacred event, the dedication of Independence, Missouri as the land of Zion and the location of the future temple lot. Though their numbers were small and the setting was extremely humble, this moment echoed through eternity. Standing before the saints, Sidney Rigdon asked if they received this land as their inheritance from the Lord. With one voice, they answered, "We do." And then, with priesthood authority, Sidney consecrated the land for the faithful of all ages, declaring Missouri as holy ground chosen by God. But even in this sacred and joyful moment, the saints experienced sorrow. One of the saints, Polly Knight, passed away. She had been extremely ill during the entire journey from Ohio to Missouri, but she had prayed that she could live long enough to set foot in Zion, and she did. Shortly after arriving, she passed away, becoming the first saint to be buried in Zion. The day Polly died, Joseph received Doctrine and Covenants 59. In it, the Lord offered comfort and eternal perspective. Those that die shall rest from all their labors, and their works shall follow them. Zion, the Lord reminded them, wasn't just a place, it was a way of living. As the saints looked out at wild Missouri, it may not have looked like much, but God had declared it holy. Zion was never about comfort, it was always about consecration, and God was fully invested in every detail. And that's what's happening in Come Follow Me this week. Click like and subscribe so that YouTube will share these videos with more people, and check out the Start Here app for daily Come Follow Me study prompts.